Today I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite techniques when I am painting. I like to make textured papers. Now, textured papers are not the final product. So when you have a textured paper, this is just kind of the beginnings of your project. But you can turn your textured paper into anything. You can draw on top of it later on, or you can cut shapes out of it and use them for a collage. And that's what I like to do with my textured paper. So today I'm going to show you how to make textured paper using paint and just random things that you might find around your house. So you're going to need paint, different colors of paint, and I use acrylic paint, but you can use tempera paint, whatever paint you have at home. And then you're going to need a paintbrush and whatever else you find that can make textures. So I had bubble wrap, and I've had a lot of this. You know, you might get it from a package that arrives home, so just keep it. And cardboard would also be good to keep to try to make different textures. I've got a plastic fork that I'm using and a straw. So anything that you can find around your house would be good to use. Once you've collected all your supplies, and you need paper, just regular paper. Once you've collected all your supplies, then you're ready to get started in making your textured paper. Now that you have found whatever objects you want to try to use to make your textured paper, go ahead, lay them out, and you're going to get started. Now when I use bubble wrap, I like to take my paintbrush and I like to put the paint onto my bubble wrap instead of pressing my bubble wrap into the paint and going that way. This gives it a better even coating and doesn't glob it up so that you can get a nice print. You're gonna flip it over, press it down, and you should get nice texture. Remember, this texture that you are creating is implied texture. Now, it is implied because it looks bumpy, but actually it's flat if I were to touch it. And I'm not going to touch it right now because it's wet paint. The other thing that I had selected to use is a fork. This I am going to dip into my paint, and I'm just going to stamp it or drag it. I'm going to try all different ways to see what kind of textures I can make on my paper. When you make textures, think about overlapping your textures, how different colors work with each other, how it might look, what might be more interesting. So I think I want to use some orange and mix that up. Same fork, but just add another layer of line. And that's starting to look good there. When you make textured paper, you want to fill your whole paper up with as much texture as possible. You still want to see contrast, like I like seeing the paper coming through there, but you don't want to leave it so empty that you have like all this space. This needs something in there. I also picked out a straw to use, so I'm going to give that a try, dip it in, and see what happens. Remember, sometimes some things look better than others. Some might not make the shape that you think they're going to make, and it's okay. Like, I thought this straw would make more of a circular shape, but it's given me more of a horseshoe. I like it. That last one worked really well. But I just need to make sure I'm adding enough paint to it. Now you're going to take your time and you're going to fill your entire paper. Now that you know how to make textured paper, go ahead, give it a try. Think about what you might use that textured paper for. So just make a bunch of them, leave them aside to dry, and then when they are dry, come back and think how you could incorporate your textured paper into your next project.